Well, we got some breaking comic book news, and I feel like nobody else really covers this stuff. So I'm going to cover it because I love indie comics, and I especially love excellent indie comics, which is what Bad Idea has done this entire time they've been out. We've been trying to be the first to report on almost everything they've been doing. Really fun stuff, a lot of gimmicks that are kind of silly, but you know what? It's got me hyped. It makes me feel like I'm back in the 90s again and enjoying all the weird gimmicks that were coming out and running down to the comic book store on my bike, trying to save up enough allowance to do things. Oh my gosh, it gives me the feels. Nostalgia. It's good stuff. If you like nostalgia, hopefully you have some nostalgia for steampunk also as a genre. I put out my Clockwork Dancer #2 this week, and we have 2 issues of this series right now. I'll put this in the description below. If you haven't gotten issue 1 yet, you can grab that on Amazon right here. They've got the whole series laid out for you. First issue is only $2.99 digitally, and of course, you guys can get the paperback as well. Victorian, good stuff. You'll have a lot of fun with this if you enjoy great indie comics and good storytelling. All right, let's go over the final 5, which is what our friends at Bad Idea have put out today. They released a series of emails of their final 5 deals, and we already talked about, whether this is real, going to be their actual final 5 or not in another video earlier this week. But yeah, the marketing train continues, and it got me glued to my email all day to check this stuff out. 5 comic books coming out later this year. More than that. 5 stories really is what's coming on. And here's the first one. We have Monster Kill Squad by Christos Gage and Tomas Giorello. And you can see the art right here. And they've got a couple previews down below also, some of the black and white stuff. And I believe they got some color on this one. Maybe not. Maybe just the black and white previews other than this image up top here. It seems pretty straightforward as a concept. Once upon a time, monster attacks were rare, etc. And of course, now we have a monster kill squad that goes and fights them. So, pretty standard concept, but that is good comic fare and fun. Big guns, big muscles, good stuff. Christos Gage and Thomas Giorello worked for Dinesh, who is the purveyor of Bad Idea, back at Valiant, and they did a run on Ninjak or Ninja K, or I don't know how you pronounce it. And it was excellent. So we got to read that. It was beautifully done. Lots of fun. They did good work, and they're going to be back together again. And that's going to be the trend here, is a lot of these books are getting the band back together for various Valiant creative teams. So far, every major writer who was hailed back then is also being hailed here, and same with the artists that were being chosen for these works also. Fun stuff. Next is number 2. Number 2, if it'll open. And we have Refuse, or maybe Refuse? Refuse or Refuse? Refuse, maybe. And Last Resort by Matt Kint and Marguerite Sauvage. I hope I pronounced that right. And this is about a lady who I believe is like kind of at the end of the world. She has no memory of her previous life, and she begins a quest to survive. So a nice space opera survival deal. Love the colors on this. Who did the colors? Who did the colors? They should be commended. I can't tell. But that's that. And I guess Last Resort is actually a different story. So you get 2 stories. It's like a double shot. It's a double shot, as they call it, by Mark Russell and Adam Polina. So this is the first one we were looking at, and reminds me a lot of like Mike Allred stuff. If you look at just the vibe of this, it's got those big thick lines around the character. Got some interesting facial expressions, which Mike Allred's known for. I wish I knew who did the colors. Did Marguerite do the color? Yeah, maybe she did. I don't know. Love the colors. I love the bright stuff. It makes me happy. And then we get our secondary story here. Little fun cartoony bent thing. And what is this one about? I didn't even read what this one's about. Mark Russell from the Flintstones joins forces with virtuoso Adam Polina from Whalesville, which was a great book by Bad Idea also. Friendship and Adventure in the Far Future. So this one should be cute. Awesome. That's number 2. Excited for that. $9.99 for that. Now, you'll notice the price point on the first one was, I believe, $7.99. They're going for a little higher price point than most comics, and they're got a bigger page count also, and smaller print runs. So this is very interesting because they're going with like more of a crowdfund model for how much all of this is going to costs consumers, I'm going for it. I don't care. If they're going to put out a good book, $7.99 is fair enough for 32 pages for me. I'm good for that. And here we are, Peter Milligan and Adam Polina's Pirate Queen. I love this vibe. This is like classic indie stuff, and Peter Milligan really delivers that feel as a writer. I'm super stoked that Bad Idea was able to get him for a book especially. And this seems to be about a pirate queen. And believe it or not, beautiful art again, beautiful concept, lots of fun. This looks terribly enjoyable. I am happy to read a book about pirates by these fine gentlemen and excited for that to come out. Now, the first one we looked at was a one-shot, or actually, I guess we looked at two. First one we looked at was a 4-issue series. The second one was a one-shot. This is also a 4-issue series coming out in September. Next, we have Passive Aggressive by Matt Kindt and David Lapham. So Matt Kindt wrote one of the stories in that double shot. He gets his own full series here. And this is in the hero trade universe. If you've been reading a lot of the Bad Idea books, they've been developing this hero trade in the background of the stories. And they came out with a one-shot last year, which had some hero trade stuff in it, which was super limited and pissed everybody off because we couldn't get it. I still haven't got it. And I don't know if those stories are contained in here or if those are part of the background stories that we've gotten so far in the back of the ENIAC books. But they've been a lot of fun from what I've read so far. This is kind of its own superhero universe sort of deal. $7.99 for 32 pages also. And also looks to be a one-shot. This one's a one-shot. So there you go on that. The number 4 is going to be a one-shot for Hero Trade. And David Lapham, who is known for his Stray Bullets, one of the best indie books of all time, is on the art here. So you're going to get really solid indie fare out of this. It's going to be a lot of fun. Very happy for this also. All right. And then the final book that they have coming out, this might be the coolest looking one. Now, I'm a big Tomas Giorello fan on art in general. He's got me happy, and I'm glad he's got not only this, but his Christos Gage book also. This one's by Joshua Dysart, and Dysart did this book called Harbinger for Valiant, and it was really a mindfuck. Sorry for the swearing or whatever, but it really was. And so you really got this like deep connection with these characters that was on another level. I've never seen a comic writer write like that in my entire life. And that's what we got here. And I expect we'll have something pretty interesting on that level too. Giorello's art's so great. One of my absolute favorite artists, if not my favorite artist out there today. So this looks like a fun fantasy fare to conclude the series by Bad Idea, and we'll see what happens next. We're very interested in waiting with bated breath around here. This is a 5-issue series, and this one's actually coming out weekly, it says, starting in December for $7.99 a piece for those 32-page books. Cool stuff. So that's all 5. Bad Idea. Let me know which one's your favorite down in the comments below. I think I'm going to go with this one, followed closely by Pirate Queen. Sounds pretty interesting as a secondary one, personally. But there's a lot of, this is just huge variety in storytelling. So I'm excited for all of them for sure. Glad I pre-ordered them all. And I think you can still pre-order them all. I know they had their pre-order day event already, but I think it's still possible. Check your local comic shop for that, because that's the only place you're going to be able to find these. Hit that like and subscribe button, everybody. We will talk to you soon.